Today we will continue our discussion of our Android project. So in the last video we developed this part. We were successful in it. Remember we created a new activity called choice. So in which the player will choose the mode single player or multiplayer. We will develop both modes. So that's why in this activity, so I have already uh, made it to save times. Since you are familiar with these concepts, first I simply dragged this text view right here like this. You have already seen it in the last video. This is a simple text view. Uh, so here's its ID. I haven't given it a unique ID since it's not gonna be useful. Then I have created two buttons. I dragged first button like this. Then I adjusted these constraints. Then I dragged this button to make it bigger. Like you can do things like this. So that's what I did. So then after making it, I copied the button. You can copy and paste. Like I copied this button, and then I can press Control plus V to paste it. So as you can see now, I have two buttons with different IDs. So you can do things like this. So I created these buttons. Both have a unique ID like M1 and M2. So if the player clicks multiplayer, who will go to multiplayer. If the player clicks single player, who will go to single player mode. Here is the code. Here's the code of our single player button. As you can see, it is getting highlighted here. So, and this is the code of this is the simple stuff. I just changed background, increase text size. You are already familiar with this. And this is the code of text view, which is quite simple. You can add more fonts to it. So, but now let's come to the Java part of it. So I created an on-click method for both of these. You are already familiar with on-click. So in multiplayer, if the user clicks multiplayer, I created a method named multiply or function, and for single player, I created a method named where it is yes. So I created a method named single. So I have created these two on-click methods. Depending upon the user's choice, these either one of these will be executed. If the user clicks a single, then the single will be executed, otherwise multiply. So you are already familiar with intent. Intent is used to create. Intent is used to move to a new activity. So I've created this new activity. So I've created this new class. So this is my new class, data class. I have created this new activity. I already showed you how to create a new activity. Basically, you have to go here and then go new and activity, and here, then empty activity. You can give it a name, like I gave it data. So if I click single, as you can see, both of them are opening the same activity. So both are opening the same activity. So in the data activity, I will get the data from the user, the input, the name of the user. So, but here you can see that both of them are opening the same thing. They are opening the same activity. So we need to somehow manipulate our program into so we can know whether user has clicked single player or multiplayer. So we will exchange variables from one activity to another. So we will do that. So we will. So if the users click single player, then I want to take a variable to my next activity. From this activity, I will use the function of intent dot put extra. Now it has two parameters. First, you give it the name of the variable. Like here, I will give it single. Then you have to decide comma to separate parameter. Then you have to give it the value. So I am making a new variable called single and giving it one. You can think of it like this, and I am sending it to the next activity. So it will go to the data activity. Similarly here, uh, I have to do the same thing, but this time I will create a variable called multiply. it's short for multiplier, I guess. Then I'm passing it 1. So if this gets executed single, the value of single will be 1. Otherwise, if this gets executed, the value of multiply will be 1. So depending upon this, we will know that whether user has clicked single player mode or multiplayer mode. So this is the key thing I wanted to show you. This is very important. You can pass integers, strings, boolean, everything from one activity to another by using this intent.put extra. Then you have to give it a variable name and a value. So you can pass any value from one activity to next activity. Now we will be able to access this variable into the next activity and its value as well. So you can check the source code of this in the description. But that's it for today's video. In the next video, we will create our data activity and class. Thank you for watching.